So the guys had a mid-year signee this year. So mid-year signee means more customization in January. Because he's new, we provide him with new rackets. So they gave me a current racket of his that's already been customized to his preferred spec. I've double checked it to make sure the numbers that they gave me versus what this actually weighs are accurate. And now I have 6 others to do for him. But first things first, we've got to strip the cards out and take the plastic off the grips. Cards are out of the rackets and the plastic's off the grips. I also put a number sticker on the inside of each frame when I go to customize, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take their weight, their balance point, and their swing weight as a batch. So I'm going to get all the numbers for all 6 rackets, and then I'll start customizing from there, because if for whatever reason one of them ends up outside of the preferred player spec, but the other 5 can be that spec, I don't necessarily want to customize to that outside spec when he can have 5 that are right, and potentially we can take the 6th and send it back to the company and get another racket, or it'll just become a practice racket for one of the coaches or somebody like that. So this is number 6. We'll start with number 6. So impressively enough, manufacturer specs are usually all over the place because they have a pretty wide tolerance. Usually they give themselves like plus or minus 5 to 10 grams, and then a plus or minus like 0.5 of a centimeter on balance, which can lead to a pretty big variance in swing weight as well. But cumulatively, these were 1.5 grams apart at most. And the swing weight varied about 4 points between highest and lowest. So these should actually be a pretty quick, easy, no muss, no fuss customization. So I'll take care of that now. Just going to blast through the customization on high speed. Was able to add a little bit of lead to the top of the ones that needed it to achieve the correct swing weight, but most of the weight in all of these went into the handle in one form or another, whether it was just cotton or silicone, but I will also explain that coming up. Like I said previously, the rackets didn't need a ton of work to get them all to where the player would prefer them to be. So for the most part, I really didn't even have to put silicone in the handles. The two that are sitting up are the ones that ended up needing the silicone injection. The rest of them, I just put in cotton ball down each side of the throat to create the necessary weight, because the cotton's going to have to go in there before any silicone anyway. So those were close enough that with just the cotton ball, they got to the correct weight. And then Babolat did something really nice with these new Pure Drive 98s as compared to the last few generations. The last few generations, the tie-off grommets are flared to make the knot set better so that you don't damage the grommet when you tie off. But it makes it so that when you're doing like customization on brand new frames, if you want to hide the lead at the top of the frame, you have no choice but to cut off a perfectly good bumper guard and use the aftermarket replacement from Babolat on that frame. But with these, they didn't flare the grommets, so I was able to push the grommet set off, hide the lead, and put it back on with no excess waste. So in addition to getting a batch of rackets that was reasonably close together, the Babolat design team clearly took some cues from some stringers when they designed this newest series of rackets and took into account how much waste is likely to occur based on cutting off brand new grommet sets just to throw them away. So kudos to Babolat for that. And now that they are weighted up, the ones with the silicone in the handle, I'll end up resting like that overnight to allow it to harden before they get strung up and used, potentially even tomorrow. But for now, really all I've got left is to print my custom labels for it that have the player name, specs, and my business information on them. And that's pretty much it for these. If you like what you saw today and you want to keep seeing more of my videos, please like and subscribe.